My wife and parents think I came home after going missing, but it isn't me. It was the summer of 2024 when my dad and I decided to change things up during one of our usual walks along the South Downs. Normally, we stuck to a familiar route, which took us past an old Iron Age fort. But that day, we veered off the beaten path, not knowing that this decision would lead to an encounter that would haunt me. We were walking through the rolling hills, enjoying the crisp summer air, when I noticed a break in the trees on the horizon. My dad's attention, always sharp, shifted immediately to it, a distant hill with a radio mast, typical of the area. Yet there was something else there, a red brick tower, partially obscured by the trees in the valley below. The tower seemed out of place, old, almost forgotten by time. We both squinted, unsure if it was an optical illusion or some hidden structure. It was not something either of us had seen before, and it wasn't marked on any maps we had of the area. "Let's check it out next weekend," my dad suggested, always the adventurer. His enthusiasm rubbed off on me, and we agreed to return with better equipment. I packed my binoculars, eager to investigate further. We continued our walk, but as we turned to head back, something caught my eye. A shadow, quick and darting, moved across the field just beyond the trees where the tower stood. It was swift, almost unnatural. I stopped in my tracks, instinctively gripping my binoculars, but when I scanned the area, there was nothing to see. My dad, ever the skeptic, dismissed it as a trick of the light or maybe a deer, but I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. Something felt off about that tower, something I couldn't explain. We headed back to the car, but my thoughts kept drifting to that shadow and the growing sense that we were being watched. It was just a feeling, something small, but it lingered, gnawing at the back of my mind. The next day, I had the most vivid dream. In it, the tower was surrounded by a dense mist, and I was standing at its base looking up at the crumbling structure. But then something strange happened. I saw movement, shapes moving within the mist. I couldn't make out what they were, but the feeling of being watched intensified. As I tried to run, my feet wouldn't move, as if the ground had become sticky with dread. I woke up in a cold sweat, my heart racing. It was just a dream, I told myself, but the unease lingered. And when I looked out of my window later that morning, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was out of place. Something was drawing me back to the tower.